Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Cheers to those of you that have your beers, or if you're driving, a Monster. Like my buddy Garrett here, who works with SnapOn Tools, who decided to join us for tonight's Q&A. Touch base a little bit on a couple things I think you guys might be interested in. So stick around. Garrett, go ahead and talk to the people or introduce yourself.
How's it going? First thing I noticed,
Uh-oh.
gotta get rid of this. This is,
Whoop.
throw that away.
Whoops.
I don't know, Jeff must have been here giving it to you. I don't know.
So this is a real deal. This is a hot
Yes,
tool
that's
deal catalog.
real tools.
Okay. You don't like the Pro Tech. Well, that's okay. We'll pick that up
I
later.
like Jeff. I like Jeff.
We like Jeff. We do like Jeff. Jeff, if you're watching, sorry, man. He made me do it. All right. Let's get real. Let's get down. Let's get dirty. All right. So we got the new SnapOn Hot Tool catalog. We'll check that a little bit later. I don't want to take too much of Garrett's time. A couple of things we wanted to touch base on, man. I am really excited about the 14.4 lineup that you guys have come out. You know, I bought the Brute and the Shallow, the Long Reach. Just recently got that 1/4 inch Long Reach from you. Not sure if those were brushed or brushless. I think they're brushed. I think we were talking about that. But the brushless, I got the 1/2 inch impact. So far, I have had really not hardly any problems. There was one sticky problem. If you move too fast, like if you're trying to NASCAR lug nuts, it takes a little pause when you get to the 3rd lug nut. But if you let off the trigger and pull it again, it's ready to rock. I have not found any situation that thing has not been able to do thus far. Charge time, very rapid. Was very impressed with the actual charge time on it. But really excited to know what we can expect up and coming if you know of any newer products. You know, I'm getting ready to order that 3/8 drive brushless. Is there anything that's up and coming that we can expect?
The last one they just came out with is a drill.
Oh, cool.
So the 14.4 drill. We have more down the pipeline. I don't know what, and I don't know when.
That's perfectly
But I
fine.
don't know what.
Is that drill a paddle style or is it single trigger?
Single trigger.
Oh, cool. Okay, rock and roll. Well, we like that, right? And you know what? Single trigger or not, these things are. You can still manipulate the speed if you're worried about that. All right. So the next thing I wanted to kind of talk about is how I think mechanics know best when it comes to tool usage, tool terminology. I think it was about a little over a year ago, I did a video kind of entitled like Name That Tool or something like that. But I had a little bit of a flack because some people had said that they didn't like the way that I was referring to certain tools. So like an adjustable wrench versus a crescent wrench, because Crescent makes tools and it was not fair to call it a crescent wrench. But from as far back as I can remember, anything that was an adjustable wrench was referred to as a crescent wrench. Probably because Crescent was one of the first ones to design and come out with such a tool, as far as I know. That being said, I also know that these locking pliers we've always referred to as vice grips. SnapOn just came out with some locking pliers or vice grips. You want to talk about these for a second?
So the new ones, got the wire cutter at the below.
Oh, I didn't know about that, but I forgot.
Also, you got the Allen.
Oh, to tighten.
Tighten up.
Okay.
You got the Allen on that guy. So that's kind of a new thing.
Knurled finish here on the end. I did like that. They seem pretty duty. And in my opinion, I believe that they should be better than the previous model. I know a lot of people did not like the previous model, but I'm actually kind of excited about this one. And then, of course, genuinely made in the USA. But how can mechanics know best when it comes to referring to certain tools? We have slang terms as mechanics, and that's kind of what I was getting at. We have a lot of slang terms. There's ways that we describe a tool that might not be by the book specific. And I'm sure that you've probably ran into that a time or two.
A lot.
How beneficial has it been to have a mechanic like on the truck that's, let's say, seasoned, because I know that they don't like being called old, but let's say seasoned mechanic or seasoned tech that's jumped in the truck. Have you had over what you've been doing this now on the truck route for at least a year and a half?
Just under a year.
Just under a year. Have you run into situations like this where it's been beneficial to have seasoned techs there
absolutely.
and around?
Absolutely. A lot of times the guys use the slang, and especially with me not a wrenching background, I don't know what they're talking about. I go off of what's in the catalog. So it takes, sometimes it takes the other mechanic to be like, here, this one. They grab it, and then I know the part number. I know exactly what they're talking about. Once I see it, and then I can make the connection between the slang term and the actual by the book term.
Right. Yep. And I think that happens a lot. It's not just your truck that I've been on. There's been, well, we have Jeff's truck, and then I've got my Matco tool truck that I've been on, and this happens quite often. There's a lot of the younger guys that are just up and coming. Sometimes they don't even know what it's called, just when they would use it. I need this thingy, and I use it for brakes, and it helps me to do this. That's pretty great. Really hard to read between the lines on that. Yeah, and it's like, I'm sure it can become quite a chore.
Another beneficial thing is sometimes the guys on the truck know better on what should be where, and having somebody point out, hey, this needs to be here, you know, lay out the truck in a better way could be beneficial as well. I know Justin helped me with that when I first started on the route.
So like product placement.
Yes, product placement, you know, stuff like that. Product knowledge too. Sometimes product knowledge can help of, hey, I got this new tool, what does it do?
To know whether or not it's worthwhile, or even something that's worth being put on display.
Yeah.
One of those things that I will say when it comes to promotional layout, and Garrett knows this, him and I talked about this offline, back and forth, depending on, you know, what's the hot tool buy for the month. So like, for instance, I mean, Snap-on's usually pretty good about letting you know what's the hottest, what's the latest, what's the greatest. So right now, we've got like locking pliers and cutters, right? So this is new technology. This is one of the items that we actually have here in front of us. So for me, if I was a Snap-on tool distributor and I was stopping by various shops, you know, I would want to make sure that I make these in an obvious location because it's part of my promotional package, right? So what's the first thing that usually happens when you open the door to your truck? The people have to walk up the stairs and they come on. There's two directions they usually look. They usually look to the right, where there's this huge flat surface filled with tools. And when they turn to look left, they usually look up. I don't know what it is, but I'm not the only one that does this. You walk up, you look to the right, and you kind of scan up, and the first thing you look at, for whatever reason, is what's above the overhead, and then you look right, and then left, and you kind of work your way to the back of the truck. So for promotional items like this, it's like when I come on the truck, I want to see promotional items like right there, like on the flat part in the front, because I'm like, oh, cool. I had not seen this on the overhead or attached to the wall. What are these? That's exactly what kind of caught my eye when I saw Garrett, was it last week? I picked these up from you to check out.
Yeah.
Still haven't got a chance to check them out yet, but it was how he had them displayed. He had them displayed right there in the obvious path of coming onto the truck. And so it stuck out to me. So I think that product placement is definitely a pretty beneficial factor as far as like being a tool distributor. Now, I myself am not a tool distributor, but I know what I like to see when I jump on the truck. You know what I mean? Snap-on boxes, that's another thing too. Love the layout. When the Snap-on box is on there, being able to open the drawer, not having a bunch of junk in it, it's nice to be able to open a drawer to see the depth of it. So I've got to give you kudos to that too. Well guys, we're going to try to keep this a little bit short and sweet tonight. I want to thank Garrett for his time. He did get a chance to drop on by the casa, so I thought that was kind of new and cool. Right. We made sure to get permission to do this video. So I want to thank those that gave us permission to do this video. Quick little Q&A. Nothing too crazy, okay? We're not going to get into pricing or details or anything like that. That wasn't what this intent was. Garrett just wanted to say hi to everybody.
Awesome.
He's doing great. His route's doing great.
I'm still doing it.
It's all going well. So just in case you wanted to know how he's been doing, he's off and kicking. He's still around. He's still doing his thing. Cheers, man. Look, safe travels. I appreciate your time. Maybe we'll get a chance to do this again in a couple of weeks or maybe next month. So absolutely. we won't be specific on how often we're going to do it, but it would be cool to have some of your guys' feedback in the comments of any of the questions that you might have for Garrett. And just know there's going to be some questions that we cannot answer for obvious reasons. But hopefully there are some people in the chats that are helpful enough to be able to answer them for you. But if there's something that you'd like to see specifically, promotional deals or something that you would like to see up close and get a secondary opinion or a primary opinion about, please feel free to share it with us down in the comments. We appreciate it. Smash a thumbs up on your way out the door. And we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.
See ya.
And deuces.